Hello friends, welcome back. In this tutorial, we will study about distance vector routing. It is a routing algorithm. In routing, the pathway with the lowest cost is considered the best. So there are several routing algorithms exist for these calculations to find the shortest path from source to destination. The most popular are distance vector routing and link state routing. In this tutorial, we will study about distance vector routing. In distance vector routing, the cost of every link is assumed to be 1 unit. And in distance vector routing, the cost is based on hop count. In distance vector routing, each router has its own routing table, as you can see here, and each routing table of each router has 3 columns. One column is labeled by network ID, one is labeled by cost, and one is labeled by next hop or next router. So this network ID, it specifies the final destination of the packet, and cost specifies the number of hops a packet must take to get there at the final destination. And next hop or next router, it is the next router to which the packet must be delivered on its way to a particular destination. Now consider this is the routing table of router A, and it has 2 entries. Now what these entries specifies? See first entry. In this value of network ID is 14, cost is 24, and next hop is H. And this is the routing table of router A. So it means if a packet has to be sent from router A to network whose ID is 14, then it will take a cost of 24 units. And to transfer the packet from router A to network 14, the router A will forward this packet, it will transmit this packet to the next router H. Now see this second entry. In second entry, the value of network ID is 12 and cost is 1, and next hop field is empty. So it specifies that if router A has to send a packet to a network whose ID is 12, then it will cost only 1 unit. It means router A has a direct link with network ID 12, right? So in this case, router A will directly transmit the packet to the network ID 12. Right, router A does not need to transmit this packet to some another router. That's why next hop or next router field is empty. Now next is how these routers in a distance vector routing algorithm, they create and update their routing table. So whenever, first of all, you understand the significance of routing, this routing table of a router. Suppose the router A has to send a packet to some network whose ID is 14. Then first it will look the entry in its routing table where network ID is 14. So here you can see this is the entry where network ID is 14. Then it will see the next hop. Next hop is H. So it means to send a packet to network whose ID is 14, router A has to send the packet to the router H. When this packet is reached at router H, then router H will look at its routing table and it will see the network ID 14 in entry, and in that entry it will see the next hop value. Then it will see to which router it has this router H has to forward the packet, so that the packet will finally reach the network ID 14. So in distance vector routing, each router periodically shares its knowledge about the entire network with its neighbor. In starting, router has the knowledge of only those LANs to which it is directly connected, and only this information is available in its routing table. So in this case, what happens in distance vector routing, each router periodically shares its knowledge about the entire network with its neighbors. And initially, what happens in starting, the router has knowledge of only those LANs to which it is directly connected. So only this information is available in its routing table. For example, see the routing table of router A at starting. This is the routing table of router A at starting. So see these entries. These entries shows that in these all entries you can say that cost is 1, and next hop field is entry. Next hop field is empty. Right, next router or next hop field is empty. So these entries shows that these networks 74, 34 and 25, these networks are directly connected to the router A, right? So that's why since they are directly connected to the router A, the cost is only 1 unit, and there is no need to transfer the packet to any another router in this case. That's why next hop or next router field is empty, right? So initially in starting, the routing table of any router will be like this. It will contain the information of only those networks to which it is directly connected. Now, how this table is updated? As I told you that in distance vector routing, a router sends its knowledge about the network to its network or to its neighbors, right? In distance vector routing, a router sends its knowledge about the network to its neighbors. So the neighbors add this knowledge to their own knowledge and send the whole table to their own neighbors. In this way, the first router gets its own information back plus new information about its neighbors' others' neighbors. Each of these neighbors adds its information and sends the updated table on its own neighbors. Eventually, every router knows about every other router in the internetwork. So, how a router updates its routing table? Suppose this is the router's A routing table, and this is the information which is sent by router B to router A. Now, on the basis of this information, how the router A will update its routing table? First of all, on the basis of information which is sent by another router B to router A will form the entries for its routing table. And after forming the entries for its routing table, router A will decide whether these entries should be kept in its routing table or not. So first of all, it will form the entries for its routing table by using the information which is sent by router B. One thing in this case, in distance vector routing, uh, each router shares the information about the network only to its neighbors. So router A, when receives the information from router B, then it means there is a direct link between router A and router B. Router B is the neighbor of router A. Now see how the new entries will be formed by router A for its routing table. See the first row of the information which is sent by router B. First row specifies if a packet has to be sent from router B to network ID 34, right? Then the cost will be 50. And to send that packet to network 34, router B has to transmit that packet to next router H. So how A will form the entry for this table? A has a direct link with router B. So if A has to send a packet to network ID 34, then first A will send a packet to router B, right? And it will incur a cost of unit 1. And from router B to transmit the packet to network 34, it will cost 15. So the total cost for transmitting a packet from router A to network 34, it will be 1 plus 15, that is 16, right? So to transmit the packet to network 34, first router A will transmit the packet to router B. So the next hop or next router field will be B. So this entry this entry is found for router A's routing table, as you can see here, right? Final destination for the packet is network ID 34, cost is 16, and next router or next hop field is B. Similarly, see the second entry of this information sent by router B. According to this information, if router B has to send a packet to network 24, right? If router B has to send a packet to network 24, then it will cost only 1 unit, because if the cost is only 1 unit, it means there is a direct link between router B and network 24, right? So router B does not need to send this packet to any another router because there is a direct link to that network. That's why next hop or next router field is empty. So if router A has to send a packet to this network 24, then first router A will send the packet to router B, and it will cost 1 unit. And from router B sending a packet to network 24, it will cost 1 unit. So the total cost from router A to network 24, it will be 2 units. So and a next hop or next router field will have a value that is router B, because first router A has to send a packet to router B. So these new two entries have been formed on the basis of information which was sent by router B. Now these two entries, whether they have to be kept in the routing table of router A or not, it has to be decided. So to decide this, whether these entries need to, we will keep it or not, we have an algorithm for updating this routing table of router A. Now, first is in this algorithm, what we will do, first we will check the network ID value of this new entry, right? If the network ID present in new entry is not in the routing table of router, then the router will add this entry to its table. As you can see here, suppose this is the new entry form, right, on the basis of information which it got. Then the router will check the network ID. Here the network ID value is 85. Now in the routing table, what happens, there is no entry in which network ID value is 85. So this entry will be kept in the routing table of a router. Now if the network ID present in the new entry is present in the routing table of the router, right, then there are two cases. If the new entry, whatever the value is specified in the network ID, that value is present in the network ID field of any entry of the routing table, then what will happen, there are two cases. What happen, then we will check the next hop field, right? If the next hop field present in the new entry is same as that next hop field of the entry present in routing table for same network ID, then the new entry will replace the old entry, right? As you can see here in this example, here you can see this is the newly formed entry and this is the routing table. In this case, network ID is 27. So you see here this entry, in this entry also network ID is 27. Then we will compare the next hop field. The next hop field is also same. Since next hop field is also same, then what we will do, we will remove this entry from routing table, and in place of this entry we will keep this new entry in the routing table. Now another case is, if network ID is same but next hop field is not same, then what will happen? Then we will compare the cost, right? Now see this entry in routing table, and this is the new entry which is formed. Now in this new entry, the network ID is same with the network ID of an entry which is present in routing table, but next hop field it is different. Then we will compare the cost, right? Here the cost is 12, here the cost is 10, right? Now, if the cost of new entry is smaller than the cost of the entry which is in the table, right, then the new entry will replace the old entry of the table. So in this case, the cost of new entry is less than the cost of this cost of the entry which is present in routing table. So in this case, what will happen, we will remove this entry from the routing table, and in place of this entry we will keep this new entry in the routing table. So if cost of new entry is smaller than the one in the table, then the new entry will replace the old entry of the table. And if the cost of new entry is same or larger than the cost of entry present in routing table, then there will be no change.